We have Ty here. He has a journal on his YouTube channel. See how he's doing. And he's talking about social media, which is actually my topic. So let's see. I think he's from the USA. He looks like it. Um, Not sure where or anything like that. So I don't know how it is to live in the USA. So all right. So let's get at it, right?
I don't want the sun to shine, I wanna be loved. It's this magic in your eyes and in my heart. Shout out to MJ, rest in peace. But today is a great day. Today's a great day because we are here. Alright, man. Here we go. I deleted social media, and here's what I found. So, last year is when I first deleted social media. I deleted it in July of 2020. The reason why I deleted it is because it was a mixture of things. So I went through a heartbreak situation in April, and when you go through a heartbreak situation, you don't want to be reminded of nothing of that person. You don't want to see their face. You don't want to. You don't want to hear their name. You don't want no parts with them or anything that may remind you of them. So
All right. So talking about that, usually that is not the best reason to delete social media, and the reason why is because that's a temporary. Heartbreaks are temporary. It's not a lasting solution. I'm not saying that he should delete social media forever, right? I'm just here talking about my topic. Um, yeah, let's continue.
I was doing semen retention at this time too. I got introduced to semen retention. I was like, hey, I don't want to see nothing, bruh. And on social media, it's a lot of things, a lot of pornography, whether it's explicit or implicit. It's always pornography. It's if you watch TV, you'll see something, or if you listen to the radio. If you go anywhere in this world, you'll probably see something that is really sexualized. I saw this girl, it was a commercial. I saw her, she was sitting in a chair with her legs spread out, and then she was leaning over and everything and licking her lips and stuff, and you like giving all this seductive look. And then it was a Verizon commercial, bruh. I was like, what the hell? This ain't got nothing to do with Verizon.
Verizon is like the provider, right? Like AT&T. I think that's in America. Yeah, sex sells, I guess. That is not something I struggled with, but I totally get it. And like, I'm not gonna comment about semen retention. It's not my topic, but definitely that it keeps you hooked, right?
Why she looking like that? We talking on. It just don't make no sense. They just sexualize everything because they know that it'll get our attention. So when you go on social media, especially on Twitter, it's gonna be a lot of pornography. And that's what social media is built for.
So on Twitter, I think I'm not sure about now. This was 2 years ago, 2021, maybe in the beginning of 2000, maybe in 2020. Um, it was kind of allowed, or there's kind of a consent. I knew that people were actually showing the stuff on Twitter. So yeah, definitely agree with that. It's not good.
To catch people's attention like that and to keep you stimulated and just to keep your mind just thinking like that. And also, I was going through my spiritual awakening between June and July. So, during your spiritual awakening, you really don't want to be influenced by outer elements, by outer things that are outside of yourself, right? You don't want to be influenced by what other people are doing, and you want to make sure that you approach this in the best and healthiest way possible. So I said, hey, bro, I don't need this in my life no more. And it was super difficult, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that it's super easy, because it's not. When you're out in an awkward situation or in like a public group or whatever, whenever it's like an awkward situation,
So I think then He's a half year in, lower than 1 year, because he seems more relaxed and he's actually working on himself, but he's not there yet, you know. He's gaining the confidence slowly. So let's continue.
You go on your phone and you do what? You go on social media. You go on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever. You go on social media to act like you just doing something on your phone just to avoid the awkwardness of the situation. That's what I thought about when I was deleting social media. I was thinking like, damn, I'm not gonna have this to bail me out. This is my safety net. What am I gonna do now? Because I'm not really like a super social person, and like I'm an introvert and I don't like talking too much, and sometimes I can tend to be socially awkward. So I was like, damn, this is my safety net. What am I gonna do after this? The first 2 weeks to a month, it was super stressful. I felt damn near depressed. I was like, what do I do? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do in my life?
So yeah, first there's the relief, then it's the struggle, right? Most people uh, seems to have the struggle really fast, but that has all to do with foundation of your social circle. Like I'm not sure how his social circle looks like, but people that have a secure social circle, they don't have, you know, too much going on, in a sense of like there's a lot of risk to deleting it, by filling the void. They already have their void filled, if you know what I mean.
Because I was an addict. I was addicted to it, just like most people. I was addicted to the likes, the followers, the people commenting, and just getting attention on social media or getting some type of validation from somewhere outside of myself, outside of me within. I realized how much time I wasted just being on social media, because 1 minute can turn into 1 hour, and you're just on there just scrolling, watching God knows what, just things that are just wasting time just because you're bored or you want to avoid a certain situation. I spend so many hours on social media that if I just deleted it, then I will have to find something else to fill in between that time, which gives me more time to be productive, which gives me more time to do something with my life. And like I said,
So that's what you think in the beginning, right? I have so much time that I have scrolling that it could potentially be on productivity. I can do this, I can do that. So you all have all these plans that are not really plans yet, right? They're not written in paper already. They're nothing. Usually, a great portion of that does go to productivity or things that you like to do, but for the most part, you will find something to waste time on. So that's no biggie because it's always better than scrolling, right? Continue.
it's an excess of subliminal pornography. Whether it's super explicit, like on Twitter, is literally pornography on Twitter, or you might go on Instagram or whatever, and then girls posting half naked pics and just showing their ass or just their body or something just to get attention. That's the number one attention marketing strategy. Something that is implying sex or something sexual, you know? Maybe it's just the look or it's just a pose or just your body or whatever. It's always something, and you can play it off as, this is not pornography, this is just my body. Mm, that's debatable because you can tell when somebody's doing something for attention, right?
Yeah, that's definitely debatable, but with girls, I don't know how worse the struggle is, but the risk reward for them is higher than for us guys because they also have other girls doing it and they have to keep up, right? Keeping up with the Kardashians, right? Um, so the reward is that you suddenly, get rich, right? And that's what you see in this weird, needy podcast nowadays. Um, that's the reward. And the risk is that you get brainwashed in a certain way that you cannot go back. And yeah, that's all right. Let's continue. Let me not go too off topic with that because that's topic that I don't want to get involved to.
And it's a lot of attention seekers on social media. That's what it's built for. You're just posting pictures. You're not promoting your business or anything. You're just posting pictures for other people to see. After I deleted social media, I felt a lot more pure inside because I'm like, hey, I'm not watching pornography anymore. I'm not finding pornography on social media anymore. I'm just being present as myself, and I'm not getting influenced by these external poisonous things in society.
So that's the thing, right? It's an influencer advertisement platform. Um, you're gonna hear yourself think, right? When you are endlessly scrolling, like you're not know what is your opinion, what's yours anymore. It's just an echo at this point. So that's a reward that you get for deleting social media, just long enough that you can hear yourself. So that's all to do with building confidence and knowing who you are.
Another big thing is I just stopped caring about other people's lives, bro. Like I was saying, social media is full of, do I have enough likes? Do I have enough views? Do I have enough comments? Do I have enough followers? Do I have enough subscribers from other people? Are other people making me feel good about myself now? Is this enough for me to feel good? If I post this half naked picture, are enough people liking it or commenting it? It's a lot of that, as well as you go on social media to see what other people's life is doing, like what other people are doing in their life, especially on Snapchat, bro. Snapchat is one social media place that I feel like is just not healthy at all. Like, you go on social media and all it is a bunch of people posting fake highlights of their life. Like, they ain't even living it up like that. They just want to look like they are, and you just
I just want to comment a bit on the Snapchat. So Snapchat has like a sneaky trigger, right? Like someone posted a picture, they make it look like it's a secret, right? And secret is a great buzzword for humans, and that's why the hook, if your social circles there, is higher um, for them than even Instagram. Even though Instagram has all the worst cases, right? It has reels, it has stories, it has photos, it has videos, it has a chat. I don't know what they have. They have everything in just one app. So it's worst of the worst case.
tapping and tapping, seeing like, oh, this is where this person was this day, or oh, this is what this person is doing. And you end up caring about what other people are doing in their life rather than what you are doing in your own life. You try to make your life look better than what it is on social media because you worry about what other people will think about you, what your peers will think about you. If you're not living it up like how they are, if you're not as financially stable as they are at this age, or if they have this type of job, how much money they're making, how many friends they look like they have, how much whatever. You just care about it so much, and in reality that shit doesn't even matter, bro. It only matters when you see it and when you add value to it. When in reality it doesn't matter, bro.
So that's the thing, right? When a lot of people see it, it gets real. So the society pressure is real in this stuff. Even though, we, even if we don't have social media, it will come and hunt you. But eventually, when you reach a certain stage or even age, you realize, like, hey man, this is bullshit, right? All right, let's continue.
I remember somebody told me that I don't want to really talk to you in public. Like, why do you need to catch up with me in public? You can just go on my social media page and see what I'm doing with my life. And you can be like, oh, that's what this person is doing. That shit was sad, bro. That
Oh,
shit hurt my heart hearing that, because it's like, that's not our life. That's not who we are. Social media is not who we are. It's what we want to show people. I'd rather people know me as who I am in person in an actual social situation rather than on social media, because I've done it, man. I make sure I post the best pictures because I don't want you to see the worst side of me on social media. Whether it's the real side of me or not, I'm not gonna post it. I just want you to see the best thing possible. I want you to see the highlights, or I want you to see this fake life that I'm living. This fake um dream life that I'm living on social media. That's not the real life, man. And you shouldn't care about what other people's lives are like either. When you going on Snapchat and you be like, oh, this is what this person posting, this is what they doing. You look at that and then you're like, what the hell am I doing with my life? And you realize that you're not doing the same things that they are. And it's best if you don't even feed into it. It's best if you don't even find it, if you don't look at it, because you can't care about something that you don't know about.
Yeah,
That's
you
why they
don't know
say
what you don't
ignorance is
know, right?
bliss. I never understood it until now. If you don't have any clue about what it is, how can you care about it? How can you value it? You can't, because in your world, in your reality that you choose to create, it doesn't exist. Therefore, the only thing that exists is what you want to exist. It's rare that people nowadays are just alone with themselves. They don't have their phone, they don't have their laptop, they don't have anything other than their own thoughts. And I realized that, once I put all the social media away and I'm just by myself, I felt really lonely. I felt like, damn, what am I doing with myself? What am I doing? I've been worried about what everybody else is doing on social media. What am I doing? I'm sitting here. Where's my life going?
Yeah, like you've been actively doing that stuff so much and like, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Um, why do I feel so lonely? Why am I so bored? So that's the transition, right? You have to fill the void and you have to experience. Because this looks like a young dude, and this dude needs to experience a lot um, in order to like be a man, right? Like fully developed man is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying he's not a man or anything like that.
I'm sitting here. I'm 19 years old, and what am I doing with my life? It's one of the few times where you can actually exist in silence, when you don't have a buffer to distract you from your life. You don't have anything to distract you from your own thoughts. You start to understand your problems. You can't solve problems that you aren't aware of. So when you are alone with your own thoughts, you have no choice but to become aware of the problems that you're dealing with. And then that ignited me to solve them, to fix my own problems. Because before, I didn't even know of my problems because I was too busy on social media watching all these damn videos and just tapping likes and commenting shit. Just trying to keep myself distracted from being by myself. And a lot of people nowadays don't know how to be by themselves. They have to be in crowds of people, or they have to be on their phone doing something. The strongest.
It's actually way worse for girls that delete because of the risk reward that I've just mentioned. They always get entertained by advertisements they like, fashion they like, comparison bias with girls they follow or they look up to. There's like an eyebrow game, between girls and those kinds of stuff. So it's way worse for them that they suddenly don't get text messages or don't get approached by guys, maybe. So then it's like the entertainment factor is gone. That's a huge pain in the butt, right?
People are those that can just be by themselves and not be on their phone the whole time. They are just able to sit with themselves, with their own thoughts. Um, they are the ones that are the most comfortable with themselves. And that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm becoming.
And the funny thing is, when you achieve that, there are going to be people in your life they're gonna call you insecure because you do all those things, right? You're working on yourself, you're working on your hobbies, you're trying to become a man and those kind of stuff. And girls come around like, nah, bro, you're just insecure, you know, you just can't handle it. They won't literally say it, but you're not in the game in that sense. So I'm talking about those women that particularly that girl, like be like, hey, you can see me online what I'm doing, right? Those kinds of people I'm talking about.
Also, bro, I got a heightened sense of awareness. I was on my spiritual journey as well when I was doing this. So I just realized, when you're not looking down at your phone all the time, when you're not looking down at your phone, you keep your head up because there's nothing on your phone that's important, that's more important than everything around you other than nature, right? Nature is important. Your environment that you are presently in is important. They say the present is a gift. It truly is because, we don't even acknowledge the present. When people go to concerts and stuff, when people go to concerts, to music concerts, they record it on their phone the whole damn concert. They're
Yeah,
not
like
even in the
candles.
present, and then they go post it on Snapchat. You see the whole damn hour and something concert on their Snapchat story, and you like, damn, bro, do you even remember it? They see the concert just like us, cause they was recording on their phone the whole time. That ain't fun, bruh. That's boring. That's boring to me. I'd rather be there and really witness it for what it is. I'd rather go walk out in public and see people and see how people interact with each other and see how, see people's faces and their smiles and their expressions and living in nature, just being out and really being there, being present. That's my biggest obstacle, I think, in life is my inability to be present.
That is not your biggest struggle. I'm gonna tell you that because it will come naturally. The biggest struggle is gaining confidence and finding replacement. So to stick with it, if you know what I mean. So um, hopefully you will find that. Oh, like I'm gonna comment more on the end on the video, but my expectation that is he's gonna make it. But um, he's still angry and frustrated about it, so I do think he's gonna relapse. And yeah, kind of on the sidebar, it gave me a hint, right? Like after deleting social media for 9 months, I came back, and then you see below leaving social media, finding a new trap. So yeah, your new trap is gonna be, you know, your new time waster. Plus, you will also get a lot of productivity back.
Been like like I said, I was using social media as a buffer. I would always be on my phone or whatever, and this is the first time in my life where I'm actually becoming present in time. Like I'm actually here, I'm actually aware of what's going on in the moment. Once I went back to social media in around October, it went down. I wasn't aware of things as much, and then I deleted it again, and then it went up again. It's almost like it's a superpower. It's not just that I'm just aware of things like that I can see. It's just my intuition heightens. It's like I almost know exactly what to do in my life and where to go.
So it's funny that you mentioned it's like he already relapsed, and what it immediately does to his brain. So it's a cognitive biases, right? They prey upon you, and it's non-negotiable to not get hooked. It's just a matter of when and not a matter of if. And that's the problem with social media. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into deep with the spiritual awakening because that's not particularly my niche. I'm not deep into that. So let's continue.
Like I always know the next step now. And this is crazy because I've never felt like this in my life until when I deleted social media. And another thing that I don't know the science behind or anything is my gratitude. This was the biggest thing. This is the the most biggest part of this. You know, I watched Gary Vee and he's always talking about like gratitude, man, gratitude. I'm so grateful to be here, man. You gotta be grateful. Wake up and be, oh man, I got a bed. I was like, yeah, I get it. I feel you. But what's the real thing? And I feel like I finally understood. I feel like I finally got it. Like I finally understand it. This is what I've been looking for. This is everything. This is life. This is the answer. Gratitude. And I don't know how social media, my theory is that, you know, social media was hiding what life truly is. My phone and
So, do you want to talk a bit about gurus? So, gurus can help you along the way, but you have to watch out because they'll always have a alternative motive. Um, but I'm glad that because of that, you found that gratitude and what it actually meant. So, I'm really happy for you that you did.
everything, all these buffers was hiding what life truly is. And you know, when you're able to look around and really be present, you don't have something distracting you. You have your own thoughts, and when you worked on yourself and when you start to become everything that you wanted to be, everything that you could have possibly dreamed of, I'm becoming my fantasy version. I'm becoming my dream Ty. I'm becoming dream Ty. Like I never thought this could have happened, but I am becoming that. And
Oh, good.
you know, when you are able to sit with yourself and sit with everything that you work hard for, you start to become grateful for what you work so hard for, as well as the things that have always been there, right? Like I have a great family. I have a house. I have a bed. I have life, man. I'm waking up. I'm still waking up to this day, bro. I'm not starving. I'm not dying. Everybody's gonna go through some trials and tribulations, and not every day is gonna be a great day. But man, look at what I have. Look at everything I have to this day. I'm able to complain about my problems, or I'm able to even know that I have problems. There's people who aren't even alive today, and here I am. I'm actually able to have problems. That's a privilege. That's a blessing in disguise, and you won't really realize it until you become grateful, until you are able to develop gratitude. And it really changed my approach on life. I don't see problems as problems. I see them as blessings in disguise. There are either blessings in disguise or they are obvious blessings.
So, I call this differently. I'll call this opportunity cost. So, for every solution, a new problem arises, and this is just the way of nature. Um, it's always pick your battles, right? Don't bite more than you can chew if you want to stay reserved. Of course, like there are people like exceptions and those kinds of stuff, and that have a whole other kinds of lifestyle. But for most people, don't bite more than you can chew, and just go deep, right? Go deep into self and develop, right?
There's no in between. It's one or the other. And that's what problems are. That's what heartbreak is. That's what pain is. They're all blessings in disguise because they are going to make you better. You can't get better by doing the same things, by being comfortable, by just existing and going with the flow of life. You have to go and do something about it. I became so grateful for everything that I had, everything that I felt like I had, and everything that I felt like I was going to have. It's really a hard feeling to explain, and you won't get it until you get it. You won't understand it until you are able to witness it firsthand.
So that's the awareness, right? Like you got aware, like, hey, something's up. Like there's social media, this explicit content, this weirdness. Like, what the hell am I doing, right? And especially when you're 19 years old. So let me count. Um, by the time that social media was really addicting, I think that was around 2015, 2016. He was in his mid-teens or beginning of teens, which is the worst. Well, it's now way worse for people that are the teens because they have all have it. But back then, it was erupting. So there was a non-negotiable to not be on it because everyone was on it, right? That's the group pressure. That's the social proof bias.
I would really encourage anybody and everybody to at least try to delete social media for, like, I still have my accounts, but I just deleted the app. Like, you can delete the app for maybe, or maybe delete one social media app for a certain amount of time, or just delete all of them for maybe a week, and then download it again, and then next time 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, then 4 weeks, until you don't have to rely on it for your.
So I'm happy that he wants people around him to experience the same when he deletes social media. Um, I am actually against telling people to delete social media. I'm just the example itself, right? They see me, they just see me doing things, and they be like, "Oh, this guy," right? Some actually pick that up and be like, "Yeah, he's right," and then they never look back. It's better to be an example because you cannot try teach pigs to fly, right? And for yourself, you cannot push on strings. You gotta pull on the strings. All right, let's continue.
For your happiness. I think that it's best if you learn how to not need it in your life. Learn how to live without it. Because you can say you're not addicted all day, but if you delete it and you struggling to live without it, you're addicted. So if I can do it, man, if I can do it, out of anybody in the world, if I can do it, you can do it too. I was a lazy ass person. Like, I had no really work ethic whatsoever. I wasn't working towards anything. I didn't see myself as becoming something really in the near future, but now I do. And I have to thank my spiritual awakening. I have to thank my heartbreak situation. I have to thank semen retention, and I have to thank deleting social media, because all those things have improved me for the better. If you want to improve your life as well, you got to try new things. You got to try things. So just experiment, man. If you are really serious about improving your life, you have to try something. You have to get uncomfortable, and you have to do something that's out of the ordinary. The entire
I completely agree with this. You have to go out there. A lot of test hypotheses, a lot of simulations. Learn instead of making all your mistake yourself. You have to learn from others. Um, yeah, it is how it is. So this is 2 years ago. He mentioned that he is 19 years old. He is gonna make it, according to my opinion. And the reason why is because he's also actively working on himself, and it's one of the most important things. So then he will get there. Um, and also, he's becoming a man. Like he realized he has to become a man now. And those jokes, like it was fun. It was fun in middle school, it was fun in high school, but it's done, right? Like becoming a man. It's all good.
entire world is doing the ordinary. So if you want to be different from the entire world, you got to do something different. You got to think outside the box, and you got to live outside the box. So yeah, that's my video, man. I'm on this journey just like the rest of y'all, man. We all can do it. We can all become successful in our life as long as we continue to work for it. No matter if it's little progress or big progress. Progress is progress, and the main thing to do is to be consistent. So I believe in all of y'all, and I think that we can all do it, man. We can all make our life better. So yeah.
Alright, so that was the video. Let me comment a bit more on it. So he's working on himself, and what I recommend people is to have a foundation. And what I mean by foundation is that your social circle, but also yourself. You have to respect yourself. So people that are religious, they say, love your neighbor as yourself. So that means a lot for them, but that's where it starts, especially when you quit social media as an addiction. You have to work on the experimenting, different kinds of stuff. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on the social circle because that's gone missing, right? But else you're gonna relapse, or on a weak moments you're gonna relapse, and it's all good. There's nothing wrong with relapsing. Um, I hope that's clear. But eventually you be like, I'm out, right? Like it can take a year, 2 years, 3 years, but eventually it will catch on. Like, no, I'm done, right? Like, because the awareness usually is stronger than social media itself, but you are not stronger when you keep these apps on your phone or still have these accounts. You're not that strong. You actually have to commit. Commitment is the key here. So, all right. Um, let's go to the second video because here he says, I'm back. Open a new tab.
Alright, so let's get into it. After 9 months of me not being on social media, I came back again. Okay, I mean, in between those 9 months, I might have got back on social media for like, maybe like on Instagram for like a day or two. But outside of that, it's basically been consistently 9 months, a whole pregnancy. You could have had a whole kid in the whole time span that was off of social media. Why did I come back on social media? You know, I've had it deleted for so long. I made the video about how I deleted social media, and I talked about all the negative things that I've experienced on social media. So why did I come back to that, right? Well, I can assure you that when I came back on social media, it wasn't for good reasoning.
You already can see he became more of a man here compared to the other video. He's more relaxed. He's stronger. He's breathing better. His pulse is better. It's all good. He's gonna make it, right? You can see it. Even though he's come back, you could argue that he's a hypocrite after making this video, but you know, we all struggle, so it's a journey, it's a process. So, um, but that's something you get, like you make videos and people are gonna tell you like the feedback, right?
I didn't have a good reason to come back. Sad to say, you know, I wish I could be like, oh, I came back because I finally collected myself and I finally, you know, I'm
Hell
still a
no.
work in progress, and you know, I came back because I was trying to fill a void. Okay, I would say for about a month, I was feeling kind of down inside, right? I was feeling like a lack of motivation. I didn't know what was the next step in my life.
I forgot to mention this about the motivation. Um, in the last video, he talked a bit about the motivation of Gary Vee because that's what influencers like Gary Vee do. But if you're not feeling that as much anymore and the motivation falls off, like I'm not going to talk about motivation, discipline, and those kinds of stuff, but eventually, then if you haven't systemized what you're going to do next, how you're going to fill the void, you will fall back.
A big reason as to why I was feeling like that is because I wasn't prioritizing the things that truly mattered in my life, you know, like taking care of myself and being grateful. You know, me leaving social media has given me more gratitude, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, there still needs to be inner work done inside of me to keep up that gratitude. You know, I wasn't even cognizant of the things that I wasn't doing that I was supposed to do. You know, I wasn't taking care of myself, I wasn't taking care of my health, I wasn't meditating enough. You know, I wasn't appreciating my family, I wasn't appreciating those around me. So I went back on social media because I wanted to fill a void, and I tried to justify like, hey, no, I'm coming back on social media because I need to promote something. I'm promoting my business, you know, I'm promoting my YouTube content, promoting my
Oh,
whatever. That was just me trying to
nah.
justify it in my head. If I'm being honest with myself and being honest with you guys, the reason why I came back was just because I felt stuck and I didn't know what else to do. I was trying to go back to what felt safe, you know, go back to the past. You know, I wasn't sure where my future was headed in this time span because it wasn't feeling very pleasant. So I went back to what was comfortable.
You can see he's not much of a talker in a sense of, I actually being open about it to your close social circle, like, hey, I'm struggling with this, because maybe, like, I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe he felt like they wouldn't understand, because as a kid you want to be improved, more more improved than your parents, right? Um, but there's no real shame in it, But this is actually really courageous that he talks about it, that he risked this on social media, right? That he risked on YouTube. So
I went back to the instant gratification to some extent. Now, as soon as I got back on Instagram, I realized that my self-esteem dropped lower than it already was at the time, okay? I spent so much time away from social media trying to create my own world, create my own reality, separate from the influence of social media and other, like my other peers and just other people in general, And I did pretty well with that, but as soon as I came back on social media, I was back into this world of social media. Whoever I was following on Instagram before I deleted it, they're back. The pornography, like I said, all the drama, all the chaos, all the negativity, all the toxic energy. I just went back into that as soon as I came back.
All these cognitive biases.
I was affected by it just like that. It doesn't take long, It didn't take. I didn't have to sit down on Instagram for hours just for me to feel it. I went back to that past mindset of myself. When I joined back on social media, the past 2 weeks, I went back to the exact same mindset that I had 9 months ago. Like I said, I was trying to go back. I was trying to go back to what felt safe, what felt comforting, because I felt like there was a lack of comfort. It makes you feel comfortable in the moment. It distracts you. It distracts your mind from whatever you're dealing with in the time. That's why I went back to social media for. I wanted to distract my mind from the chaos that was going in within me. Instead of addressing certain things that need to be addressed, like instead of me prioritizing and doing the things that I know I needed to do, I wanted to distract myself with an extra distraction. Go back on social media. Okay, I'm scrolling. Oh, I post this on my story. Let's see what it does. Let's see if people see it. Oh my God, people, that's not it. Okay. I was looking for validation. And I feel like that's why most people are on social media. You don't put things out to the world unless you want to see how people are going to reciprocate it, unless you care about what other people think about it. People just posting what they want other people to see because they want some type of validation. They want to see if other people care about whatever it is, They want to see if people care about what they look like, what their physical appearance is, or what's on their mind, the things that they shouldn't be putting out to the rest of the world. They put it out just to see, will people care about what I'm going through? And when I came back on social media, like I said, I was trying to market myself to those who didn't know what I was doing, I was like, I want to let people know, like, hey, I am okay, and I'm doing YouTube now, and I'm also doing, a podcast. I also had a spiritual awakening. I'm also doing, like, I wanted to show other people all these other things that I was doing. That's a double-edged sword, because for some people that may motivate others to get on their grind, do things that they want to do things that they dream of, that they want to achieve. I never saw Ty as a person who would be doing YouTube, who would be talking, because I've been such a quiet person for so long. So I was like, hey, if I post this, maybe this will motivate people to.
So I'm not sure, but if you have trust issues, or you're more secretive in your social circle, so I'm not saying like, oh, just ignore, you're not an introvert, like I'm a, I don't personally know you, right? But like, this is something you have to pay attention to, that you actually have trust issues. I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, just trust it the first time and those kinds of stuff, but how you actually going to, if you think you have it, then you probably do. So try to conquer that, right? All right, this video is 2 years ago. He probably conquered that already, but this is in a moment, right?
Improve on themselves, get on their self-improvement journey. But at the same time, I know that most people who are following me on Instagram, they don't care, okay? Like I said, I was just trying to justify the reasoning as to why I came back on social media. I was looking for validation. What I mean by that is, you know, there's people that I know were following me on Instagram, and I was kind of wanting them to see the improvements that I made on my life. You know, I wanted them to see what I'm doing right now, because I wanted to remind them, you know, there's been some people that aren't really a part of my life anymore, but they still follow me on Instagram. And if I post on Instagram and I haven't posted in months, they're gonna want to see. I'm gonna post my accomplishments.
They want to see, but they will see the advertisements first.
Want them to see what I'm doing. I want them to see my successes thus far. That's what I was doing it for. I wanted them to see what I was working on subliminally. I tried to act like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm just doing it because whatever, you know. A big part of me wanted to post it just so they knew what I was doing, just so they can be like, oh, I missed out on time. I missed out on the bandwagon. I hate to say this, man. I really do hate to say that was my thinking. Partially, it wasn't completely my thinking, but it's the truth. And you know, the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I want, you know, I don't want y'all to go back to falling back into the hole that you were in before. You know, once you get out the hole, make sure you never fall into that hole. You know, I was looking on the Instagram story after I posted. I would keep on going back to Instagram, swiping up and seeing, oh, how many people viewed it, which people viewed it.
50,
you know,
60,
I
21.
really wanted specific people to see what I was posting. You know, there was, you know, an ex from the past. You know, she's going incognito on her secret profile, whatever, being one of the first people to view the story. And I was like, yeah, you disrespected me. You treated me like I was wrong. And now you see I'm out here. I'm actually trying to help other people like how I tried to help you. But you took my help for granted. Now I'm helping all these other people. See, you see that now? You see that I'm not a selfish person. But ironically...
Yeah. What I gotta say to that, you know. Still hurts, but he's gonna heal. Like, eventually you're like, who that girl?
That makes me feel selfish, you know. That makes me feel selfish knowing that, you know, even though I do care about everybody that I may be impacting in a positive way, you know, I shouldn't use this as something to rub in somebody else's face. I tried to take it as a moment to rub it in everybody's face that didn't believe in me, that doubted me or whatever. You know, I wanted to kind of show off my self-improvement. That was kind of my mindset. I was looking for validation. I was looking for somebody to slide up on my story and be like, oh, Ty, I see what you're doing. And
good boy.
You know, that did happen.
Dog,
some people were like, oh, okay. That inclined people to want to associate themselves with me again, you know. Some females from the past were calling me on the phone now. I haven't talked to them in so long. I was just looking for validation.
You're not a dog, boy. You're not waiting to be petted. So, but I get it. That's what social media does to you, you know. Like, likes means a good boy. No likes means bad boy, you know. Go into your kennel, right? Alright, social media.
And one thing that I thought is, like, you know, since I've been away from it for so long, I would be able to not fall into that hole again, because, you know, I've been gone for months and then now I'm back on it, and, you know, I'm not going to fall into that hole. I've been gone for so long. I detached myself from it, but it's like, as soon as you return back to a certain area, you get in a certain mindset. It's like when you have certain friends, you talk to them different ways, you know. And when I came back on social media, when I came back on Instagram, it was like I was going back to the things that I was doing when I was on social media before. The mindset just switched back immediately. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I didn't think this was possible. I didn't think it was gonna happen this fast. But social media is so strong. You know, I'm not trying to demonize social media because it's a tool, and the goal is to use the tool. Don't let the tool use you. But that's not as easy as it sounds, you know. I have had a social media addiction, Just like a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people who will never leave social media just because they're stuck. There's a lot of people who are stuck and they don't even know it. But you know, if you're watching this video, chances are you are aware of that. At least, you know, you're aware of the negative impact that social media may have on your life. And I feel like that's super important. Awareness is the most important thing, if you ask me, because if you're aware of something, you'll only let yourself get to a certain point to where, you know, you'll stop. Especially when I first left social media, my main goal was to create my own reality, create my own world that I want to live in, you know, without being influenced by outer external things. And I did that, but you know, it takes maintenance to keep that up, you know.
So you're gonna need a lot of internal, but you also need external. But you need external from the right sources. So what are these sources, right? What are these external sources? Because so, like this video, I think I heard the word validation. Who are you getting validation from? Like you will get it from yourself, but you're also gonna need external validation. But these people that you wanted validation from, they don't care. Like you said, they do not. It's better to have validation, even though those people have social media. It's better to get validation from the people that actually love and care for you than just, you know, once in a blue moon, they probably saw your picture or your story once, you know, filled with advertisements and like, oh, hey, this guy, I remember him. I mean, I'm not saying that they're thinking that. They probably don't even register that. Like they will see a picture like, oh, Ty, and they scroll up and they're they're on the next one, right?
You have to be aware of everything that you do and you have to consistently work on it, you know. I guess there's pros and cons to creating your own reality without social media, because you will be excluded from a lot of things that are going on in the world, you know. When I left social media, there will be people talking to me about like certain trends or whatever, and then I wouldn't know about it. What's the dance, the Junebug challenge, when they like that? I didn't even know about that. I didn't know about it. I didn't know it existed until recently. You know, I didn't know anything about DMX until a few days before he died. That's the, I guess, sacrifice that you make when you leave social media.
So yeah, I talk about this in my video, being a globalist versus being a localist, and what are the pros and cons. And for most of the people, they wouldn't care because it's not your battle. It's something you don't have to be sympathetic about it. It's something you don't necessarily need to know. Like when you, the moment you wake up all the way to sleep, you have a certain capacity that you can be influenced by or actually to use. And once that's up, it's gone, right? Like that's it. That's the day. Your day is so valuable. And I'm not saying, oh, you have to use it like the most efficient, the best way. These are just buzzwords by productivity people. I also call this toxic productivity. I'm not gonna get deep into that because it's not my topic. But yeah, you have certain capacity, what you can gather, that you can process. So if you use it okay, then you already should be proud of yourself. You know, it's all a process and a journey, like you said. So let's continue.
You don't be involved in all that stuff, but there's peace in that. And you know, I remember Nipsey Hussle said that he read somewhere a quote where it was like, you can either be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at war with the world. And it's really up to you. I feel like being at peace with yourself is the most important thing, because no matter what the world is doing, no matter what is going on in the world, your own world, the world that you decided to create and live in, that's the most peaceful one. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of you, because you have peace within yourself. And that's the ultimate goal, you know, no matter what that takes. Sometimes it's going to take sacrifices. You know, you can't be involved with everything else that everybody is talking about or everybody else is living, you know, but that's okay.
It depends on what your goal is. If you want to be in the mix of everything, if you want to be able to relate to everybody and all the things that are going on in the news or whatever, you know, be my guest. There's some things that are important that I feel like people need to know. There's some things that, you know, maybe you shouldn't know about. Whatever you feed your brain, that's what you're going to get out of it. You know, whatever you put inside your mind, that's going to be a part of your thoughts. I don't want.
All right. So I want to touch on the influence. So I noticed when he was talking, I was thinking about who are your heroes, right? Who are you influenced by? Who do you look up to? So I only know he looks up to Gary Vee, but Gary Vee is also an alternative motive. This is very important. Accepting help is very important. What I mean by help, I don't mean like, addiction help necessarily. I mean like just getting help. You're not alone in this. But back in the day, 2 years ago, like even before that, there wasn't a lot of content about this. Now everyone's like, oh, I deleted social media for a couple months. Oh, finally did that, or those kinds of stuff. So you really have to pick someone that 99% of things they say is probably legit for your life. Now, this sounds extreme, but this is like a mentor, right? And you need that. I also have my mentors, so let's continue.
To have negative things as my thoughts. You know, if I hear it, that's going to be a thought in my head, because now I know about it. And there's a lot of things on social media that I just don't want to know about. Whether it is a trend that's cool, or some sad news, or it's just negative people just arguing. I don't want to have that in my mind. I want to instead create those positive thoughts. You know, I do research on a daily basis. I want to put that into my mind. I watch funny videos basically every day. I want to put that in my mind. You know, I want to put positivity into my mind. I want to put information in my mind that's going to help me and that's going to help other people. Everything that you do, everything that you give your attention to is an investment on yourself. You know, even though it was a short time span, it was just 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks taught me a lot, you know, that it's still not time for me to come back yet. You know, I'll continue to remove myself from social media. And, you know, when the time is right, the time is right. But right now is not the time. You know, I took the sacrifice, you know, for a few weeks. I took the sacrifice. This is just my experience, you know. Maybe you won't have the same experience, but this is my experience, and hopefully you guys are continuing to work on yourself, continuing to prioritize the things that truly matter. Keep your mental health right, your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, all of that. Make sure that it's all in check. You know, when you remove yourself from social media, that helps you. That gives you the space to do that introspection work, you know. You can't fix anything outside of yourself if you can't fix yourself. You are your number one focus. Be a master of yourself before you try to master and fix other things outside of you. You know, the reason why I did this video is because I really, you know, I'm a human being just like everybody else. Yeah, that's what I got for this video. Let me know how y'all think.
All right. Thank you for your humbleness. I saw another video leaving social media, so I'm gonna check this one out as well.
I gotta care about these numbers. I'm not getting enough likes again. I'm not getting enough comments, not getting enough views, you know? I'm falling into that same hole that I tried to escape when I left social media. Separate yourself from this internet world and go out in real life.
Just want to say that I really like the scenery. I also use a lot of scenery in nature. But don't be fooled. There are people out there that present the videos in nature just for the likes and those kinds of stuff, right? I'm not saying that he does, that Ty is doing that, but I just want to mention this if you actually listen to this talk.
Life, okay? Go out in real life and experience the real world, okay? So I'm going to be talking about, I'm just going to talk about it. Shoot, I don't need to do no intro. Basically,
So that's the thing, right? When you're at a certain point, you also notice this in my videos, like I don't have to prove myself. So there's the confidence level, right? What I was talking about. Here's what I mentioned, like between the 1 and 2 year mark, you're getting your confidence back, and at a certain point, you wouldn't care. Like we love you, right? We're happy that you're listening to you, but we're not doing it for the likes. We're not doing it for the show. We're just telling you straight up, like, hey, man, especially me, like, I'm trying to be innocent about it and having fun, but also, you know, kind of giving the punches out, like, hey, this is just it, right? This is how it is.
I've been, I've left social media in July last year. Damn, that's almost been a year. Cause it's June. Boy, I gotta say I'm proud of myself.
All right, there you have it.
I'm not saying that I just completely been off of social media. I might revisit every now and then. But anyways, the reason why I did it is because one, I wanted to stop seeing things that I didn't want to see. I didn't want to be influenced by my peers or people who I feel like are doing better than me in life. I didn't want to see people flaunting their certain life or certain relationships that they have, and then me looking at my situation like, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that. I was like, I don't need that in my life. I need to separate myself from this as much as possible. It's easy to say that that's not really how they're living, but when you keep on seeing it, it's like you can't help but feel like you're missing out on something, or you're just not successful. You're just not doing good in life.
That's the thing. When you see it repeatedly, then it must be true. It's one of the biases. I'm not sure how this one's called, but it's one of them.
Right? So it's easy to feel pretty depressed when it comes to being on social media. I was programmed by a lot of things. The first time that I actually left social media, I left Twitter, right? The reason was because that was when the pandemic was hitting, right? The
Oh,
pandemic
bro.
hit. It was so much news, so much
Oh,
crazy stuff, and I was always trying to be the first one on it. I was there before the freaking Channel 2 action. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all don't live here. I was on the news stories before ABC, you feel me? I was on it. I knew about everything because I was looking for it, and that took a toll on my mental health. It gave me more anxiety than I already had, and it made me feel like this world is just crumbling into pieces. Social media was programming my brain to see more of the negatives in the world rather than the positives, okay? So I was like, hey man, I don't want these external influences to mold me into this type of person, to only see things out of a certain lens. So I had to leave. I had to leave. I was like, hey, I want to take control of my own mindset, take control of my own perspective on life. I don't want to be influenced. I don't want to be programmed by these certain things. But the thing is, I still kept YouTube. Big problem that I had with social media is all these numbers. I was caring about the comments, how many comments I got, how many likes I got, how many followers I got, uh, how many, whatever. All these numbers that I was so worried about. I didn't want to care about that anymore. But I still kept YouTube because I was like, hey, YouTube ain't bad. YouTube, social media is the devil, but YouTube is an angel, okay? That's how I kind of perceived it in a way.
yeah, because YouTube has different elements that you don't necessarily have to see those content, right? And probably you don't have like friends following you and commenting all the time. You just have a comment session, you have a video. Well, nowadays you have YouTube Shorts, which is just as bad, maybe even worse. But yeah, it's different because you're using it differently and it isn't that addicting. Like you can actually create your own environment, your own public on YouTube, or you can also do that on Instagram, like your own, own followers. But that's not necessarily talking about. There's a certain interest-based audience, right? With the influencers, it's just all out of nowhere. You have these craving guys or girls that look up to her, or certain groups that are there, certain classes, certain groups. But YouTube is for everyone.
But I've started to realize, YouTube ain't all good either. Nothing is all good. And it's all about how you use it, because social media or YouTube is a tool at the end of the day. Social media is not all bad. It's not all the devil. Please don't come here saying like, oh, see, this is why this app's like, it's not the app itself. It's just like guns. Like they say, guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns. It's not the tool itself. It's just a tool. Same thing with social media. Social media, you can use it to promote your business. You can use it to create a platform to do positive things, but also you can find like Instagram models that you addicted to. You
So it's a good thing that he mentioned the business. I also mentioned this in my previous videos, that if you're gonna use it as a business, someone else has to manage it, because you will still get hooked in the end of the day. The friends will find you, and you're gonna relapse, because like I said, social media is strong. They have these biases prey upon you. I keep saying biases, but that's what it is, right? That's how the way it's designed is to prey upon that. It's not because you're not strong, no, it's because as humans we have those flaws.
scrolling down on their page, you trying to like every single thing. You trying to slide in her DMs, knowing dang well she not gonna hit you up. She don't see you, So it's a tool. It's all about how you use it. It's hard to be on social media if like you're following a lot of people who aren't benefiting your life, But YouTube's the same thing. The algorithm will reward you with what you've been watching, If you're watching a lot of entertainment type stuff, you're going to get entertainment type videos recommended to you. If you're looking more informative videos, you're going to get that, It's all about what you're looking at. And it's all about how you use it. Sometimes, I might get into this slump where I'm just looking at strictly entertainment videos instead of trying to inform myself on something, on a more important, valuable topic, right? And I'm just wasting time away. And then, I might end up finding, they got YouTube Shorts now, so now you can basically look at TikToks, on YouTube. It's easy to get lost into that whole loop, that short form loop that social media gives you, with the 1 minute videos, with the 10-second videos, with 15, you know what I'm talking about. So I was doing very well for myself, if I may say so myself. Okay, I was doing very well for a while on YouTube, but then I created a YouTube channel. I'm not saying that alone is bad, because I'm really glad that I did, and I wouldn't throw it away for nothing, because I try to come on here and I try to help you guys, and I try to give all the information, all the value that I can to you guys. Hopefully it can help you, because that's the reason that I do it. But I realized from when I started back in December to where I am now, which is June, right? My motives have kind of changed. And it's sad to say, but it has. When I first started YouTube, I was like, hey, bro, I probably ain't gonna get no subscribers or nothing. I'm just gonna post because it's fun, because I feel like doing it. And then over time, I felt like there was a responsibility, like a burden on me, like, oh, I gotta keep on growing my channel. I gotta keep on doing these types of videos, keep on doing these types of things, because if I don't, then these people aren't gonna like it, or they're gonna view me a certain way, or whatever. Oh, I gotta care about these numbers. I'm not getting enough likes again. I'm not getting enough comments, not getting enough views, I'm falling into that same hole that I tried to escape when I left social media. It's the same exact hole, it's just a different tool, And I went from using the platform of YouTube to having the platform YouTube use me. I found that I've gotten to the point where I would be caring too much about subscribers. Oh, I got 20 subscribers this day. I got 1 subscriber this day. It's like I'm caring about, like I said, the numbers. The numbers it's so easy to get controlled by numbers. Whether it's money or it's followers or likes of subscribers, whatever. And I'm not an exception. Like, I was like, oh, I'm getting 20 subs this day, like on a daily basis. Oh, I'm doing so good right now. And then another day, it's like, oh, I lost 2 subs and I didn't gain none of them. I'm doing very bad. What am I gonna do with myself? What am I gonna do with my life, Because I based so much of my happiness and my mental health on these numbers. Or it's like people have their happiness. Oh, I'm not getting enough TikTok views, oh, people don't like me on TikTok no more. Oh no, I'm doing terrible in life, you know? So what I'm trying to do to help myself, my situation, and maybe you guys can use this too if you find yourself falling in this hole, you know, no matter what it is, try to, at least what I'm doing when it comes to YouTube is I'm trying to not look at the statistics, at the analytics on my YouTube channel, because it's like I don't need to fall into this hole again. This is easier said than done, of course. I don't have all the solutions. You know, I'm only 20 years old. I'm still trying to find answers, just like everybody else. But I know that it's not a healthy thing to do when you base your happiness on external things, you know? So my thing is I'm trying to go out in this world and experience certain things, you know? And then learn more lessons, you know, go out and do something that doesn't feel necessarily comfortable, gets out of my comfort zone, and it might make me feel pain in the moment, but I know it's going to build me up and it's going to really value myself. You know, I don't really know my worth because I haven't gone out in this world to experience and go through certain situations, you know. The more things that I go through and experience, the closer I will get to happiness that's determined by me and nothing else outside of me, okay? I don't want my happiness to be determined by likes or views or subscribers or what people say about me, even if it's good. You know, I shouldn't be like, oh, I'm a good person because this person said I am. Because I'll put the same value on somebody else who tells me I'm shitty, you know, that I'm stupid. I don't want to be like that, you know.
I'll tell you, I was walking with my dog the other day, and someone said, "Well, you have a very bad dog, you know, bad behavior, blah blah blah." He didn't do shit. He just walked and wagged his tail. And then 5 minutes later, oh, he's so good. He's just walking next to you, blah 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 blah. And like, it's like that, you know. But when you gain a confidence at a certain level, like you're not necessarily gonna focus on this, right? So that's how you can see he's becoming a man.
I want to get that happiness from within. Yeah, this is a long-term thing. Uh, but I can start today, you know, and I will start today. I'm gonna go out in this world and I'm going to experience something, get out of my comfort zone, and try to grow, you know. So hopefully you guys can get some value out of this. I would say, you know, if you find yourself falling into this loop, separate yourself from this internet world and go out in real life, okay? Go out in real life and experience the real world, okay? Go out and talk to somebody that you haven't talked to before. I believe you find your happiness when you put yourself through uncomfortable situations and then you come out on the other side. You know, because that's another what they call it, stash on your sash, another whatever. Another notch on your belt. That's like another notch on your belt when you go through something tough and then you overcome it, you know? That's where that comes from. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let what you see on social media stop you or influence how you feel about yourself. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself, you know? Are you better than you were a year ago? If so, you're doing pretty damn well for yourself, okay? Don't let anybody tell you different because nobody else knows you like you know you. So that's what I got for this video. I hope you guys can find some value in this. And yeah, we all can make this happen.
All right, I think we got the message. So I'm gonna check his channel.
All right.
I'm not gonna look at more videos, but struggling with anxiety and depression. All right, I think we're pretty up to date. Yeah, all right. We missed that one, but I think he's getting himself out there, which is a really humble and vulnerable thing to do.
All right, what's good with y'all, man?
Everyone has a valid perspective side to showcase mine and give you my perspective, my knowledge, and my philosophies in the world. Sure to write the story reveals everything feels informative in some way. It's meant to leave you more than what you can. Stay positive. Yeah, he's a good guy, you know, but he get there. he's really young. So like 2020. All right, it's all good. I've much, yeah, trusted God. Let me see. Since Latin sponsors. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was pretty long because he had multiple videos, and I just want to comment all of them, but we got the message. So take care. Hope you learned something.